scrapbookers. Hi scrapbookers, it's Katie Scott, and today I'm going to show you, I have these mailboxes that I've cut in half. They're old mailboxes, and they're like the medium flat rate box. And so I have them filled up with scrapbooking supplies according to a season. So like I'll have Christmas, fall, Halloween, spring, birthdays. I've got, just trying to think, calendar. I've got Christmas, I don't know if I already said Christmas, school, like different things that would be themed. So every once in a while, I think it's good to just go through these boxes and purge a little. Just see what's in them, see what can come out of them. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. And I've kind of gotten down on this sidetrack of purging, and when that happens, when I start to purge things, a lot of times I'll stop scrapbooking. So I kind of hate organizing because it takes me off the creative path, but I think it's a necessary thing to do. So let's just get started. So what I'm going to do is just go through these, and I'm going to say purge, 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 purge. And so you can look back at a lot of this stuff and say like, oh, I think I'm going to purge or keep. So these little embellishments, I'm going to say keep. So they'll go off to that side. So I'll put things on this side that I'm going to keep, and on that side that I'm going to get rid of. Purge, these little letter stickers. I've got 2 sheets of these. I'm going to purge one and keep one. These are just some scraps. I'm actually going to take these out of the fall section and put them in. I've got a little bin for smaller scraps. Purge, purge. This is actually a memorabilia, so that I'm going to keep. I've got 2 of these, so it's easy to keep one and get rid of one. Purge, keep. If it's a heavier weight, I'll keep it. If it's a lighter weight, I'm more likely to purge it. Keep. Purge. Oh, keep, purge, purge. I don't know if this is interesting at all. I hope that it is. I'm going to keep these because on the backs of those are just 2 basic polka dots. Purge. I'm going to, I've got 2 of these, but I really don't like them very much, so I'm going to purge both of them. Keep, keep, keep. These are all SEI from the same line, so I'm going to keep those. I'm going to keep that one. Purge, purge. Purge, 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 keep, purge, purge, keep, purge. 3 of those somehow. Purge. Purge. Okay, and sometimes what I do is I keep things that are like my daughter wore this costume, and it's like kind of like a 12 by 12 sheet. So I'm actually going to keep this, and I'm going to put it at the bottom of my keep pile, just as something sturdy on the back of it. Okay. This one gives me fits because it's a family tree, which I like, but I don't like the style of it. So I'm a little torn on these two. I think I'm going to keep them. Okay, there's another kind of cardboardy type thing. Keep. Okay, when I have 3 of this piece of paper, so I'm just going to keep 1. Keep. I know this is probably like the most boring video ever. But I listened to the paper clipping roundtable today, and they had Wendy Smedley was on along with Jen Gallagher, and they were talking about, you know, the future of scrapbooking and whether manufacturers are still going to be making pattern papers. And I think that's interesting, and I think like my desire to buy more pattern papers is declining, even though I don't think my scrapbooking is declining. I still want to do a lot of scrapbooking, but I have so much pattern paper that here I am making a video about purging pattern paper, and so I kind of wonder how much how much new pattern paper is really necessary out there. And one of the things that I thought was so interesting on a past paper clipping roundtable was Wilna Furstenberg mentioned that she buys 1 sheet of paper for every like 4 embellishment sheets she buys. And I just thought that was really interesting because that seems like sorry, not very many, you know, pieces of pattern paper. I think like it's the rise of the embellishments, it seems like lately. Purge. I don't know how well you can see this. I hope that by the end of this, the piles of the purge and the keep will be about even. I'm not sure if it'll work out that way, but we'll see. A lot of the things I'm purging are from paper packs that I got at like the craft stores. That you know, the thing about purging paper is even if they're not going to make very much more pattern paper, which I think they will. But say they don't. I think that I really think I'll use this for anything ever. But even if they're gonna purge, you know, like say they never made any more pattern paper. First of all, I have so much of it that I still feel confident in getting rid of it, and I would like to get my supplies pared down. And I found a good source of who to share it with, so that's always a plus. What was my point? But I think even if, say they never made any more pattern paper, like I seriously have enough to last the rest of my life. And not only that, you can always like say the worst thing happened and there was no more pattern paper and you didn't have any pattern paper, like in the 12 by 12 size, and you still wanted to create 12 by 12 layouts, you could still piece together pieces of paper to make that size. I think you could adapt. Anyways, I'm feeling good about the purge. So this is how much I have to purge so far, and then this is how much I have to keep so far. So I think they're about even. Let's keep going. So here I have some 8.5 by 11 sheets. And I'm really almost trying to just do like one over here, although that's not how I'm deciding. But I'm trying to go quickly. I think that's a good tip. And if you have something you can listen to, like a podcast or some peppy music, I think that's a great idea. But this process is kind of hard. And so the other thing they were talking about on the paper clipping roundtable is like, you know, how much are you buying? And part of the problem that I even have is that I buy my paper at a discount. So therefore I get more than enough. You know, I get so much pattern paper that I buy them. Some paper I buy at premium prices for $1 a sheet, but that's pretty rare that I'll do that. Usually what I'm doing is buying paper from a discount store, or I'm buying it at the scrapbooking yard sale, or I'm buying paper packs, and I can get paper like very cheaply. So it's not, you know, it's very easy to accumulate a lot of paper easily. It's not that hard. So the problem then becomes like then you get more paper than you really need, and what do you do with all that stuff? So it's good to go through and purge from time to time, even though the process feels like, oh, this is not how I want to be spending my time. And it's really not. Like, I don't get a huge kick out of purging my supplies. It's not my most fun activity. But I think if you keep bringing things into your space, it's necessary. So it's just something you've got to do from time to time. So here I am, trying to purge. Oh, that one came back. And so what I'm trying to get rid of is stuff that I think is maybe okay, but it's not my favorite. And then what I'm keeping is stuff that I think is kind of neutral, or, you know, could be used as a background. So like solid colors I'm more apt to keep, but designs, like I'm kind of on the fence about that. But my dad was a stamp collector, so I'd probably keep that one. So many. Or like, you know, sticker sheets that just have kind of dated looking fonts. Getting rid of those. These are like punch out papers. So I'm keeping the ones that look like tags, but I'm getting rid of the ones that look like rounded circles. So we're almost done. So that I'm getting rid of, but I'll keep the polka dot. So it's kind of interesting to think about when you're buying things, you know, if you buy the trendy things, I would say use the trendy things up as soon as you can, because those are the things that if you don't use as soon as you can, will probably be going into the purge pile later on. Almost there. Like a 6x6. I'm actually going to put these into my 6x6. I've got a different place for storage for that. So that's going to go into a different place. But I like using these cellophane bags to contain like the smaller sticker sheets and that kind of thing within my bin here. So here we go. This is what's going back into the bin. And I've got a couple more piles to go through. This is the stuff so far that is getting purged. And I have a bin that is 15 inches long and 12 inches wide, and my goal is to fill that up and get it, like, purge all of that stuff. I'm okay with most of that. These are mostly like kind of embellishments. Okay, I'm not going to pull everything out, but this is a sticker sheet that I don't like that font, so I'll get rid of that one. And paper scrap that can go away. This is a paper scrap that can go. So I actually don't mind having some paper scraps because I like using paper scraps. When I'm scrapbooking, I'm much more likely to go for a scrap than to cut into a whole sheet. So I like to keep the scraps, but it comes down to like how many do you need. That looks about good. So we'll consolidate those. So that's the end result. So there's more space in this bin, and this is how much I'm getting rid of. So I hope that helps. It also helps to just say, I'm just going to do this one bin. I'm just going to spend like 15 or 20 minutes and do one thing, and then say, oh, I'm done for the day, and now I can move on to actually making a scrapbook page, which is my next step. So I'll be back. Thank you for watching. I'm Katie Scott.